laser point.
Okay.
Don't shine it in anyone's eyes. Zhang, is that the correct
Yeah.
pronunciation? Okay. Jason Zhang.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi everyone, my name is Jason Zhang, and today I'm going to talk about the relationship between renewable energy and economic in China. Renewable energy is often seen as an environmental issue, but I believe it's also an economic issue. Long-term national development depends on having a stable, affordable, and reliable energy supply. In China, energy demand remains very high because of industrial production, transportation, urban development, and the growth of new technologies. However, China still relies heavily on fossil fuels, including imported oil and natural gas. This dependence can create economic uncertainty, especially when global prices fluctuate or geopolitical tensions affect supply. For this reason, I wanted to explore why the renewable energy is not only cleaner, but also essential for China's long-term economic sustainability. I chose this topic because it's closely connected to my own experience. Growing up in Beijing, I became aware of the environmental problems related to traditional energy use. On this slide, I included two pictures of Beijing. The left one was heavy haze in 2018, and the other shows a clear day. I think this contrast helps show why this issue matters to me personally. It reminds me that energy use can have a direct impact on the environment and daily life. I also completed an internship at a semiconductor company where I learned more about technology, energy transmission, and importance of reliable power system. Through these experiences, I came to understand that energy is not only an environmental issue, but also an important part of development and future progress. These experiences led me to explore how renewable energy could support China's long-term future. This research matters because energy is closely connected to China's long-term future. Renewable energy may reduce dependence on imported fossil fuels and help lower economic risk. It may also provide a more stable energy supply, which is important for economic development. In addition, renewable energy can support future industries that require large amounts of electricity. For these reasons, I believe this topic is important not only for the environment, but also for the economy. My main research question is why is renewable energy essential for China's long-term economic sustainability? I wanted to explore why the renewable energy can do more than reduce pollution. I also wanted to understand whether it can improve energy security, make the economy more stable, and support future industries and long-term growth. China faces a major energy challenge because its economy needs very large and growing energy supply. According to EIA data, China's natural gas consumption increased in 2023, and imports still made up about 42% of total supply. This shows that China's energy demand is still rising, while dependence on external energy sources remains significant. In addition, the International Renewable Energy Agency explains that China needs to reduce its dependence on coal and move toward a renewable-centered energy system in order to improving long-term energy security and economic stability. Together, these sources show that energy is not only an environmental issue for China, but also a major economic issue that affects long-term development. Another major issue is geopolitical risk. China's energy security is closely connected to international relations because some of the fossil fuel imports come from politically sensitive regions. For example, Russia was China's top crude oil supplier in 2024. China imported 108.5 million metric tons of crude oil from Russia that year, equal to about 2.17 million barrels per day. This shows that China's energy system is still closely tied to external suppliers. When wars, sanctions, or political tensions affect those suppliers, China can face greater pressure on its energy security. Another important point in my research is oil price volatility. According to CEIC data, China's crude oil import price changed a lot over time. It rose about $185 per ton in May 2020 to about $800 per ton in July 2022, which means the price increased by more than 5 times. While oil prices go up, China has to pay more for imports, and this can create pressure on transportation, manufacturing, and other industries that use a lot of energy. Because of this, dependence on imported fossil fuel can make long-term economic planning less stable. Renewable energy is important not only because it's cleaner, but also because it's becoming more economically competitive. According to the International Renewable Energy Agency, 91% of newly commissioned utility-scale renewable power projects in 2024 produce electricity at lower costs than the cheapest new fossil fuel alternative. The agency also reports that adding 582 gigawatts of renewable capacity in 2024 helped avoid about $57 billion in fossil fuel costs. This shows that renewable energy can lower long-term energy costs while also supporting economic growth. Another important finding in my research is that clean energy is already supporting China's economic growth. According to an analysis in Carbon Brief, clean energy sectors such as solar power, electric vehicles, and batteries contributed 11.4 trillion yuan in 2023 and accounted for about 40% of China's GDP growth. The analysis also explains that without clean energy, China's GDP growth would have been only 3% instead of 5.2%. This trend continued in 2025. At the same time, Amber reports that clean electricity provided most of the increase in China's power demand in 2024. And in early 2025, clean energy growth even exceeded demand growth. Together, these sources show that renewable energy is not only helping the environment, it is also becoming an important driver of industrial growth, investment, and long-term economic development in China. These two figures show that renewable energy can reduce major long-term economic and health costs. The first figure shows that China's wind and solar capacity increased a lot from 2013 to 2023. This means clean energy became a bigger part of the power system. At the same time, the second figure shows that pollutant discharges in China's power industry dropped sharply from 1,756 in 2023 to only 134 in 2022. These two trends are connected. As China used more clean energy, pollution from the power sector became much lower. This matters for the economy. Lower pollution can mean lower health costs, fewer social burdens, and fewer long-term losses. A 2026 study in clean air says that coordinated pollution and carbon reduction in China could bring about 1.07 trillion yuan in monetized gains by 2050. The same study also says that it could help avoid more than 500,000 premature deaths by 2050. In addition, the World Health Organization says that air pollution causes about 2 million deaths in China each year. So overall, these figures and sources show that renewable energy can reduce not only emissions, but also major long-term economic and health costs. Renewable energy can also support China's future industries. According to MIT Technology Review, AI is creating much more demand for electricity, especially in data center and large computing systems. The article explains that this demand comes not only from training AI model, but also from daily AI use or inference, which also need a lot of computing power. Overall, this shows that renewable energy can support China's future industries by providing a stable electricity they need for long-term growth and competitiveness. Renewable energy can support China's long-term economic sustainability by creating jobs, increasing income, and encouraging investment. According to China's energy transition, more than 100 billion yuan from the central budget has been invested in upgrading rural power grids. The report also says that household solar installation in rural areas have reached 120 gigawatts across more than 5.5 million households. At the same time, this development increased farmers' income by 11 billion yuan and helped create around 2 million jobs every year. This figure shows that renewable energy supports the economy not only by providing energy, but also creating jobs, raising income, and supporting infrastructure investment. Although renewable energy has major economic benefits, it also faces some important challenges. According to the International Renewable Energy Agency, China's transition to carbon neutrality includes not only expanding solar and wind power, but also improving energy efficiency and investing in new technologies such as hydrogen. This shows that energy transition needs large investment and long-term planning. In addition, the Chinese government's white paper on China's energy transition explains that China is still adjusting its energy structure, controlling high energy and high emission projects, and improving the policy system around the transition. Together, these sources show that renewable energy is a strong long-term solution, but its success still depends on progress in infrastructure, storage, and overall system development. For my outcome, it's going to be a research-based capstone project about why renewable energy is essential for China's long-term economic sustainability. In this project, I use academic research, policy report, and data analysis to study the topic from different angles. My final outcome is an academic paper that shows renewable energy is not only an environmental solution, but also an important economic strategy. Through this project, I developed a clear answer to my research question and a stronger understanding of how renewable energy can support China's future through energy security, economic growth, and long-term sustainability. In conclusion, my research shows that renewable energy is essential for China's long-term economic sustainability in four main ways. First, it supports long-term economic stability by creating a more secure and reliable energy system. Second, it reduces risk and supports growth by lowering dependence on imported fossil fuel and reducing the pressure caused by price volatility and pollution-related costs. Third, it helps build China's future competitiveness by supporting new industries such as solar technology, electric vehicles, batteries, AI, and digital infrastructure. Finally, it's essential for sustainable development because it supports economic growth while also reducing environmental and health-related damage. For this reason, I believe renewable energy is not only an environmental solution, but also an important economic strategy for China's future. And here is my sources. Thank you. Yeah, it is actually solved like the problems. you can see like the environment is much better, um, and based on the like contemporary like society, there is a lot of wars during the war, and so renewable energy can help China to reduce like the imports energy, so it can be much stable for the economy. I mean, like, becoming stable is actually like strengthening the economic, and also like the renewable energy help a lot for GDP growth. It's like increased by 40% of total. It's like it's about 40% of China's GDP growth. Yeah.
Curious, so you talk about this development helping China kind of with its competitiveness on the world stage, and they are like they're pretty far ahead, I think, of the United States in their development of renewables. I'm wondering how you see that impacting competition with the U.S. or the relationship with the U.S.
Sorry.
So, on your last slide, I think point three was that increasing the renewable energy production in China would make it more competitive on a global scale. Right? Was I understanding that correctly?
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm curious, like how that development, which is I think greater than the U.S.'s development, has made them more competitive than the U.S. On that.
So um, it's it's kind of like China be um, so it's increased like in China don't have to worry about like their energy, like so like the prevalent industries such as AI, they actually need a lot of like energy, and so if the energy is limited, it can like limit the development of the industries such as AI. So it can increase the competitiveness. Okay, Nate. Uh, it's a good question. I think like the, gov- the government will pay for it, and also maybe some large company, because renewable energy actually they can have a lot of profit like in this industry. Who is getting benefit? Um, I mean, everyone gets benefit because like the people working in renewable energy industries, they can like gain profit, and also they are helping like for the other industries such as AI, they have more stable energy. So it's good for their development.